How's everybody? How is everybody? How is everybody? In other words, I hope y'all in a good space of mind. You hear me? A good place of health, a good place of spirit, and a good place of body. Stillness, goodness, love, light, health, and wholeness to the cosmic consciousness, family, and soul tribe 3 times. You hear me? Salute to all that come to peak and all those who come to pass by. I hope everybody in the highest space possible, radiating, vibrating, emanating, and exuding the highest version, demonstrating the highest version, illustrating the best version of yourself to yourself and all those that you come into contact with. Feeling good for no reason at all while you do it, you hear me? And for those of you who have new, nobody can feel good for you. You're gonna have to do it yourself. And it's an everyday accountability to oneself. It's an everyday responsibility to oneself. So whatever, sometimes we need a totem. So in regards to saying that, I say whatever, because we all got things going on, and things always going on. Life is always happening, and life happens through change. So I'm aware that we always got things going on, but whatever going on is gonna go on regardless of how we feel about it. So we might as well feel good for no reason at all, and whatever go on, and wherever we find ourselves, and what does go on. You hear me? But yeah, I'm feeling good myself. You hear me? I just came through to share a few things. It's been a minute. One thing about travel, it affects you when it's over with. Rather, it's to your destination or it's back where you reside. One thing about travel, it affects you. It might not get you right after, but it's going at some point in time. If it don't get you the day after, you don't feel it the day after, you're gonna feel it at some point in time. And that's how I found myself. So I had to get on the charger, you hear me? But it's an honor to come through and share my insights, share my POVs, my point of views, about different things that we go through, different things that we have lived through, different things that we have experienced, And I say that to say, if you don't know how you are or where you are in yourself, you couldn't be in a better place if you find yourself on the other side of these words by way of this video. There's no better time to check in with yourself than right now. I'm just a reminder, and checking in with yourself. Sometimes you gotta, like I used to say some years ago. I ain't gonna put no age, I ain't gonna put no number on it, but like I used to say some years ago, to a lot of people that I know, sometimes you gotta step back from yourself and see how you moving. So, if you're in a place of doubt, uncertainty, confusion, it may be that time. There ain't no better time than now to check in with yourself. And it's amazing, how our experiences, mold us if we allow them to. I'm gonna say it again. It's amazing how our experiences, whatever we experience, because everything is a lesson, and we don't normally learn through good experiences. We don't necessarily learn a life-sharing lesson or life-giving wisdom through good experience, because we don't pay attention to them like that the way we pay attention to negative occurrences or bad occurrences, or whatever type of label you want to put on it. If it's when uncomfortable situations present themselves to us in life. But I was outside myself, looking at myself through the eyes of how many people have perceived me, whether vocally or non-vocally. And I saw that few people see me for what I truly am and who I truly am. and many don't see me at all. Now, a few of y'all gonna come through here and resonate with that, and probably many more come through and get triggered just by the fact that I sit here and said it. But to those who get it, it's an honor to be me, as just as much as I'm sure it is an honor to be you to you. You hear me? Because we need to know what motivates us. That's why I started out the way I did. We gotta know what's your motivation. Every day I have to know what's my motivation, and it's so deep because as I was contemplating on the way that it was being shown to me, you know, and I started questioning people because we're in a time where, well, you know, woke is the thing to be, but we can see how woke people is by the things that's still happening. That's still happening and still gonna happen until everybody woke. So we know woke. It's just a catchphrase, you know, to joke that it is, especially to those that's not doing the work, and for those of us who doing the work, we know, you know, we know. You hear me? Cause woke ain't about putting nobody else under the microscope but ourselves. You hear me? And the more we put ourselves under the microscope, you know, we see just how much, you know, those who not, you know, just to keep it lenient. You hear me? But honesty is a good place to be with ourselves. You hear me? Especially when it comes to what's our motivation. You know, if we take for those of us who have kids or so forth, or we caretakers in some form or other, you know, to somebody somewhere, remove that, remove the bills, remove any responsibilities external of ourselves, and ask yourself, what is your motivation? What's your motivation for waking up every day beyond the external, beyond the external reasons, you know, we can give ourselves, beyond the external excuses, what we can give ourselves? What's your motivation? What is your motivation for waking up every day? Furthermore, what's your motivation for being you? Just to take care of the kids, just to take care of the bills, you know, just to take care of whatever we have to take care of, whoever we have to take care of, that we take care of, in whatever form or fashion. What's the motivation other than that, though? What's the motivation for being you? You see, it takes somebody to come through and ask us these things like this, because if you ain't asking yourself these type of questions, to have this type of relationship with yourself, you already know it from the moment I say certain things. You hear me? It illustrates the type of relationship and the type of dialogue that I have with myself. You know, me and my higher self, me and my over self, as well as me and my shadow self. You hear me? Because I'm bringing all the parts with me. I ain't leaving nothing behind. You hear me? So those of us who on that same mission, even if we don't know you, even if you don't know you're on that same mission, and you resonate with something that I say, or something that I say resonate with something in you, you just ain't put your hands on it yet, just stick around. I bet you'll finish better than you started. You hear me? Because I call out all the things that we don't like to face. I call out all the things that we don't want to face, as well as I call out all the things that we enjoy facing. You know, we have to embrace it all. That's the type of journey that I'm on. You know, that's how I keep it real with myself and keep it real with you. You hear me? Whoever you may be. You hear me? But we'll be surprised the things that we don't think about. That now is the time that we should be thinking about. We'll be surprised of the dialogue that we don't have with ourselves, you know, that we should be having with ourselves, and then we'll get triggered when somebody had that type of dialogue that we should have been having with ourselves with us. You hear me? You know, that type shit, you know. But yeah, if we did, it'd be a great help, you know. It'll be a great help to us concerning ourselves, you know. And it's important to start doing it, especially if you hear what I'm saying, you know. I know sons are being triggered. It's important to start doing it. You know, we can't be so used to just getting up and go, and we don't know where we at in the process, and we've been programmed to do that for so many years of our life, especially if you're an adult. You know, you've been programmed to do it and probably don't even know it until what I'm saying making you know, have a look at it. You hear me? We've been so programmed and used to getting up and go without being fully connected with ourselves and without being fully synced up and in alignment with ourselves. All the parts. You hear me? Not just the part that we go and look at in the mirror and when we're washing our face or brushing our teeth. You know, the inner chambers. You know, it's layers. It's layers to everything else. It's layers to us. Like it's levels to everything external of us. Regardless of what we want to achieve or accomplish, it's levels. You know, internal. You know, that we gotta go through according to what we want to achieve or accomplish. You hear me? You know, the work start within. You know, but like I say, I know what it takes to know what it took. And as I do it within myself, cause it's continuous work. You hear me? You know, I'm gonna do it with those who on a mission to do it in themselves. You hear me? So if you make yourself present, I appreciate your presence as much as you appreciate mine. You hear me? Cause what I don't say, what I know, what I say don't trigger everybody. You hear me? Some people want to recognize the trigger so they can get beyond them. So I'm here for you. You hear me? But I know what it takes to know what it took, cause I do it within myself each and every day. Whether I come record with y'all to know, or not. You hear me? But for those of you who do, salute. You hear me? Salute. Any kind of self-work, any kind of self-improvement, any kind of self-discipline to self-improve. You know, if you're doing it, you know what it takes. And if you're doing it, you already know what it took for you to start doing it. You hear me? Because it ain't something, you know, I forgot who said it. You gotta go through something if you want to, no pain, no gain. You hear me? So those of us who are in a space of being the best version of ourselves, being better than we've never been. You know, we know what it took to get through, regardless of what we had to go through to get there. You hear me? And for those who don't see it in themselves yet, be patient with yourself. Be more kinder with yourself. You hear me? You know, cause we got way more in common than we don't. You hear me? So we got way more in common than we don't. Even though we all different, we got way more in common than we don't. You hear me? So if I'm here with you, I gotta keep it real with you. You know, walk with me. Walk with me. I say that to say, keep building, keep balancing, keep growing, keep glowing. You hear me? Because the greatest act on earth is not taking place outside of us. It's taking place within. You hear me? We all teachers as well as students. You know, continue to be open. You know, to things that are keep pushing you forward. You know, continue to be open to positivity. You know, I ain't say be open to everybody, but be open. And those who are open, continue to be open. You hear me? You can learn from a crash dummy. The crash dummy teach us to buckle our seatbelts in case an accident occur. You hear me? So yeah, We all teachers as well as students, and we all taught through the errors of others, as well as we're gonna be teachers through our own errors, you know, and have been teachers through our own errors. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, you know. I appreciate that coming through me, because we can't take back what we learned, and we can't take back what we taught. But we can carry all that it taught us. You hear me? We can carry all that it taught us and all that it teaches us, and take that awareness with us. You hear me? Take that awareness with us, and in that, we may be a form of awareness to somebody else. You hear me? Be honest with what you know as well as what you don't. You hear me? Feel good for no reason at all. Stay hydrated. We know heat waves going on everywhere. You hear me? So forth and so on, man. Love and light. Keep you know, love and light. 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 Remember, truth so powerful because everybody got one. Your POV matters just as much as mine. You hear me? Peace. My name is Sabu.